What's up, people? YouTube, this is Troll here, bringing you guys another video to my channel. And today, I gotta talk about something. I gotta talk about this this swatting thing, this swatting that happened recently, that ended up getting someone killed over a $1.50 bet or wager. So basically, to compress the story as fast as possible, because I'm sure by the time anybody is watching this video, you've probably already heard the story, at least for the most part. So there were two people playing in some sort of a UMG wager match with $1.50 on the line, and there was a dispute to some degree, which led to both people threatening to swat the other person, and one person gave the other person the wrong address, obviously purposefully, and causing that guy to have a wrong house swatted, which also resulted in a man getting killed, an innocent man getting killed. Nobody should have been killed in this scenario, but it happened. An innocent man was killed over swatting. So pretty crazy world that we live in, and it's if you're a really big fan of the community as well, like myself, it's a crazy time for pretty much anyone. It's kind of embarrassing to admit it, honestly. Like, there's times when I think about the Call of Duty community, and I think about just how toxic it can be. The comment sections of YouTube videos, the comment sections of forums, things like that, where you're discussing any opinions that have to do with Call of Duty, any skill levels, anything that has to do with a new Call of Duty, and it's filled with toxic people. And when you really break it down and you think about it, why is the Call of Duty community so toxic? You know, I think it's probably by far, if not the most toxic community that a game has ever seen. It is one of them, you know, top 3 for sure. And when you break it down and you really look at why that is, I think it simply comes down to this. A game like Call of Duty, your entire goal is to make the other people do bad. Nobody wants to do bad, especially in a game like Call of Duty, where it is super competitive and stats really matter. So it's like, no one wants to do bad, but somebody's always going to do bad, which means every single game, somebody is going to be leaving not necessarily happy. You add that into a giant pool of people all across the internet, and this is what you're going to get. You're going to get hate. You're going to get toxic, nasty people doing toxic, nasty things because their pride is hurt, especially when it comes to younger people. There was a time, I would never swat anybody, but there was a time where losing a game of Call of Duty would really upset me. Doing really bad in a game of Call of Duty would really upset me. And somewhere around Black Ops 2-ish, I kind of trained my brain to kind of turn that off, because at the end of the day, it is a video game. At the end of the day, your stats don't matter. They don't impact your life. They really don't. If anybody is listening to this that acts that way, know that none of this stuff is actually important. You know, 10 years from now, your wife or your husband or whoever, your kids, they aren't going to admire you for the KD that you had in COD World War II. That's just not how it's going to work. There's no point in getting super upset. Sometimes you can't help it. You get a little bit angry, whatever. But this is mostly for the younger people out there, people who are, you know, teenagers or 13, 14, 15 years old, because that's when I felt like I was the most vulnerable for that. The maturity level just wasn't really there yet. And this is me trying to tell you to breathe. It'll be okay. It doesn't matter, you know. Pick yourself up, move on to the next game. Maybe you'll do better, maybe you'll do worse. Who knows? But this should be inspiration to get better, to feel that less often. Not to take it out on somebody, get an innocent person killed from swatting. Now, when it comes to the punishment for the people who did the swatting, I read an article or an update that somebody in Los Angeles was arrested for the swatting. I'm assuming the person who had called, I think he was 25 years old, something like that. The person who was killed was 28, I believe, and he had children. So these children get to grow up without a father now because somebody got mad over a $1.50 UMG bet. That's a thing that exists. That's a story that somebody has to tell someone's kids when they grow up. You know, why'd my dad die? What happened? Well, these kids got upset after a match of Call of Duty over $1.50 and got the wrong house swatted and got him killed. Some people talk about how the police are more responsible. You know, why would they go to immediately shooting a person? And apparently the guy opened the door after the door was pounded on, knocked on, whatever, and was shot. I can see that. I can see why people say, well, why would the police shoot right away? But at the same time, you got to think. The police had been called, said that someone was murdered, that people were being held hostage. This SWAT team is going to this door thinking about their life, thinking about their kids, their families, thinking, I'm doing whatever it takes to go home tonight. They open that door. You know, what SWAT situation does someone just open a door perfectly fine like that? They were probably expecting the worst. So I don't really blame the police. I feel like there should have been more of a, maybe just a little bit more reaction or you know, deciding what the reaction should be in that moment. But I don't necessarily blame the police in this situation. I think that it is fully to blame on not only the guy who did the swatting, but the other person as well for even contributing to it, giving the wrong address. It's pretty crappy. I think there should definitely be punishment. I think there should definitely be prison time, at least for the guy who actually committed the swatting. And then for the other guy, definitely maybe some jail time, a little bit, county jail, whatever, year or two. But at the end of the day, the guy who called in the SWAT to that horrible, funny, hilarious prank, I guess, he killed someone. He had someone murdered in cold blood that's going to grow up without a family. Anyways, guys, I know this was a darker commentary, but this is something that I just wanted to talk about. I haven't done something like this in a while that wasn't related directly to Call of Duty. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and deuces.